All right, man. So we talking about fight this weekend: Canelo Alvarez, Danny Jacobs, man. Well, this is how I see it. Fight is possibly gonna go down to a decision. So I got a lot of noise in my background, guys. But fight is possibly gonna go to a decision. Um, I don't really see a TKO coming in this fight. Is it possible that that can happen? Yeah, it's possible it could happen. Is it possible that Canelo Alvarez can take it all the way down to the stretch and win the decision? We got the biased judge Bird sitting on the sidelines. We've seen how she's done stuff in the past. A lot of people are talking about that. That's one of the biggest things in this fight outside of Canelo being able to pull out, squeeze out some victories against Laura. You know how he was able to squeeze out of that one, and then in the Mayweather fight, um, they they chose to make it a majority decision instead of a unanimous decision when everybody could clearly see that it was unanimous. So you got some issues in this fight. I'm not gonna lie. But let's just stick to what is it gonna take for each fighter to win. Now with Danny Jacobs, we know that Danny Jacobs is a tough guy, man. He comes in, he utilizes the jab, he utilizes movement. Um, he has pretty decent hand speed. His power is decent. His IQ in the ring is up there with the best. He uh, he sticks to his game plan, and he's able to pull out victories based on his ability to stick to his game plan and utilize his strengths to the best of his ability. Now with Canelo Alvarez, man, he's adaptable. That's what I like about him. That's not to say that Danny Jacobs isn't, but I've seen it on more occasions than one with Canelo Alvarez, and it doesn't take for him to be in trouble for us to see him being able to adapt. Um, and for all of those that don't really know what I'm talking about, you can watch Canelo in any fight. It's to me, I think that Canelo does study film, but I think he likes things to be live. I think he likes the live feel for situations and circumstances that's going to transpire in the ring, and I think he likes to adapt on fight night. That's what I think. I think they work on what they're going to work on in camp. Maybe his coach may get a look at his opponents, and he'll tell Canelo one or two things, maybe three things or so that he wants Canelo to focus on during the fight. And then after that, it's all about what they're gonna do as far as the game plan. They're gonna continue to be them, and then they're gonna get in the ring, and Canelo is gonna adapt. He's gonna figure out what he needs to do, what the opponent is doing, and sometimes it's not even just figuring it out. It's about him setting things up. He's going to utilize the jab. He's going to box. We know that. Can he move? Yeah, Canelo can move. He can slip. Uh, he can bang if he needs to bang. It's nothing he can't do, in my opinion. He doesn't have many weaknesses. I think his one weakness is his cardio. Cardiovascular has always been a problem for him. Over the last two fights, maybe three fights, I've seen him in. He's improved in that area, especially in the last fight against Triple G. Um, he's improved in that area. He at least looks like he's ready to go. For about nine strong rounds, and you can see him starting to huff and puff a lot in the 10th, the 11th and the 12th. He's not really as engaged as he was, from 1 through about 7 or 8. So you can start seeing him taper off in the later rounds. You can see him trying to get smart now and gain his rest and pick his spots on when he's going to throw combinations and when he's going pretty much when he's going to let his hands go. And then he has times when he's going to sit back and he's going to watch and he's going to evaluate what the opponent is doing. So he's going to pick his spots on how he wants to break you down. He's going to pick his spots when he wants to break you down to the body, or if he wants to attack the head, if he wants to see if he's going to check you out. He's going to see if you're a headhunter. He's going to see if you're a guy that wants to go low. He's going to give you many different looks, and I think that he learned that. A lot of people will say that he learned a lot during the Floyd fight, but they won't say what he learned, and that's what I think that he gained the most from Floyd is knowing when to pick it, knowing where to pick his shots. I would say what spaces during the fight he's gonna do it, and then just giving you different looks and forcing you, to do things that he wants you to do in the fight. So he's pretty much controlling the tempo. He's pretty much controlling the output. He's controlling whether it's going to be a defensive fight or whether he's going to focus on boxing. If it's going to be a boxing match, he controls the tempo. So if Danny Jacobs wants to win this fight, he's going to have to break Canelo Alvarez's rhythm. He's going to have to confuse him. He's going to have to constantly put something in front of Canelo Alvarez that he really hasn't seen in all of his fights. And honestly, he's prepared himself, Canelo Alvarez, he's prepared himself over the years with multiple different styles of fighters in the ring. So it's not much that he hasn't seen, and that attributed with his amateur background, with all of those fights that he had in the amateurs. It's not really much Canelo hasn't seen, man. And he's been in there with the best of the best as far as Floyd, and Laura was a heck of a contest for him. And we can go back in the past, and he had Dog in there with him. He had let me see, Shane Mosley, and it's been tough guys in front of Canelo Alvarez. Danny Jacobs has had some tough fights. He's been on his back a few times, and he's always found a way to bounce back. He's one of those guys that you're not gonna break his will. You're not gonna break him down you're not gonna be able to walk him down. You're not gonna be able to intimidate him. The moment is not gonna be too big for him. So what are you gonna do to impose your will on Danny Jacobs? And that's what you got to do. You got to constantly keep picking your shots. You got to throw off his timing. You're gonna have to force him into traps. And Danny Jacobs is not an unintelligent fighter. He's very intelligent, and he can pick up on that stuff right away. So it's gonna be a difficult fight to watch. I like what Roy Jones had to say, and he said whoever pretty much imposes their will on the fight, whoever establishes what they're trying to do the most is going to pull it out. But I'm hearing people say that Danny Jacobs should stay on the outside and box, and Canelo should focus on trying to get on the inside. Well, here's the deal with that. If Danny Jacobs stays on the outside in a fight of this magnitude, he's going to lose the decision, guaranteed. He's going to lose the decision because people want to see when the best get in the ring, they want to see these guys bring the fight to each other. You keep constantly bloating in the media. Hey, we want the best to fight the best. The best need to go at each other, and we want to see a clash of titans in the ring and this and that. And then when they get in the ring, it's too much of a chess match, and people are not satisfied with the outcome, and the judges end up going whichever way they want to go. So you can't leave it in the hands of the judges. I think that you need to make this one a grind out, tough, hard, gritty fight for Canelo. He hasn't been in one of those in quite some time, and he needs that right now. He needs a little bit of all of it. He needs the inside boxing game. He needs the outside boxing game. He needs a tough, greedy fight. He needs somebody that can get greedy with him as well. So in this one, I don't believe that Danny Jacobs is going to really be able to pull that off. all night. So I would have to go with Canelo Alvarez, man, on just sheer boxing skill and being able to set traps up and being able to maybe catch Danny, not maybe, but being able to catch Danny Jacobs, man, and possibly stun him or possibly knock this dude down. It's so many different things that can happen, but I'm gonna go with Canelo, man. I've been riding with him for a long time. I'm a big fan of Canelo, and it's not just that I'm a big fan of Canelo. The reason why I'm rolling with him, I just think that overall he's the better boxer. Um, I think Danny Jacobs is the man in this division, and if Canelo Alvarez finds a way to put this guy away, it's nobody that's gonna be able to stop him in this division. So that's gonna be pretty much where I'm coming from. That's my pick for the fight. I'll see y'all on Saturday.